Okay, so open a piece of writing. It's actually chapter number 2 of the Jot. Like the first chapter I haven't completed yet, but I wanted to read some of this. Still working on that one. And a visual representation for the anti colony of the moon. I haven't figured out web-like yet. But anyway, it's a lot of orbs, semispheres, and spheres. I'm like, forget the orb idea. Get it? Orbit. In orbit. Anyway, okay, so in orbit around Earth. In orbit around Earth. No, I didn't get much sleep last night, so bear with me. It's in orbit around Earth, the eternity slowly leaves the warming rays of the sun beyond the crust of Earth to be welcomed by the coolness of space. Far in the distance, the full moon's sun reflection is bright. The Ansi colony of the moon houses several of Earth's moon colonists. The web-like complex is this complex. Complex is comprised of several cube structures, each covered with a single semispherical and slick solar panel. Okay, so I did create an image. Actually, it's on the desktop. It's right here. So this is kind of like what the Ansi looks like. This is Mr. Chamberlain's office, or Mr. Myers. Wait, Chamberlain Myers. Great. Now I'm gonna forget which one it is. Chamberlain or Myers? I think it's Myers. This is Mr. Myers' office. This is the chamber of Celine, and this is our botany area. That's where she grows stuff. It's the largest. They haven't figured that part out yet, so they haven't expanded. Anyway, I think that's what I finally settled on. Anyway, there are cube structures in the center, each covered with a single semispherical and slick solar panel. Between the solar panel and the cube is like a thermal insulation of some sort. So each structure is attached to another by short or long corridors. And the central unit is a massive greenhouse filled with dying foliage. That's the greenhouse, the botany lab thing. So anyway, Celine is a superb botanist. Every plant seems to dwindle and in growth and fall just short of productive life. In this orbit, the greenhouse is quiet and almost empty. Like, yes, God. God. Anyway, therein, slamming a clear rubber vial of seeds upon a surface, Celine exhales forcefully. Her muscles tense and her eyes downcast. She whispers, "What am I doing to not get results?" And I'm like, what? What? Exhausted, she sinks into a loose stance. I just don't know. She's like, I just don't know. Anyway, so don't is emphasized. Do not. She's like, no, well, don't. Celine runs a hand through her short and dense red hair, and several strands fall against her forehead. I don't know if it's gonna be red. Oh my gosh, aren't very many redheads. But I like red hair. And she's that saucy type, feistiness, which is like, it's funny. It's energy. Like erratic energy. Like impulsive energy. But anyway, dense red hair is several strands fall. Blah. As several strands fall against her forehead, leaving the seed vial upon the surface, she storms to a wall, placing her fist against the panel. She waits the rising, or waits. It's not a panel. What would I say? Like a control panel. It's a panel, but that's a panel too. So I use panel and panel. How would I differentiate? I think I'm gonna leave it panel for now. Anyway, she waits the rising panel. What a phase this has been. Get it, moon phase. She exclaims. As she passes the secondary button, the cool lighting dims and the greenhouse is left in warmth. What a phase this has been. Now, I'm sure most could probably figure that out. Anyway, I gotta figure out how to sort of bring it in where it's like more realistic. I think I did, it's not something super out of the way. It's kind of bringing you into the story, I think. Anyway, so Celine has been battling the death of her work. She has yet found the missing answers as to the questions plants weren't growing. Similarly, her views on love have withered. She's like feeling pitiful and lonely. She makes her way to the chamber of the colony's lead executive. That's Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers. So we'll see. Mr. Myers. With a slight tap of her fingertips against the metal panel. The panels, there's a lot of panels. Slides vertically upward to reveal a tall man with silver and thin hair. Well, hello, Ms. Oh, I gotta change that. Hello there. It's Ms. something. Yeah. gotta figure out a surname for her. I was like, I like Celine because, you know, Celine is like loose, light, whatever. Luce, I think it is, loose. Light loom, kind of, too. It's light. Celine. What can I help you with? And it's Greek as well. Greek origins. So, Celine exhales, Mr. Myers. I'd like to leave for phase to meet Celine. Astrophil. Brain Astrophil. At eternity. I believe with her help I can begin to prepare the materials upon eternity for forge growth here. And then he's like, yeah, mission granted, sure. See you later. Well, will that be all? And then she's like, yeah, sure. Or it could just be Miss. He calls her Miss for some reason, like he has a pet name for her. Anyway, he calls her Miss. She's like, yes, sir. I'll see you in one phase. She's like, you know, Mr. Military. Anyway, he's not, but whatever. She's like, thanks, and leaves. And it's sort of like intercut. As the sun makes its arrival to the peak of the main thrust tank and descends the metal frame, revealing the spacecraft, the occupants of the Obsidian are belted in and running tests. So basically from, you know, space back to Earth, and then they lift off, and it goes back to, you know, and so on. So it's in different locations, but at the same time sort of intercut and various locations, sort of not losing that, where it's like there's a connection from one location to the next, so that the story doesn't, you know, you don't lose interest that way. Visuals, it's a lot different. This is more mental. So as the sun makes its arrival to the peak of the main thrust tank, and then I don't know if you've ever seen it, but as the planet orbits the sun, light will sort of descend objects like that are really, really tall. You can see it in skyscraper buildings, or, you know, if you live in a city, it's from the top of the skyscraper downward until, you know, the sun's seen, not seen. It's a bad comparison. Until you're in a city where the sun is overhead, and say like 12, 1 o'clock, something like that, depending on the location. There's that, or if you're in the country, haystacks, or grain mills, or something like that. You know, you can see the sun, it touches the top of large objects first, and then sort of descends. That's what I was talking about. So, you know, as the sun makes its arrival to the peak of the main thrust tank and descends the metal frame, and this is over hours, basically. Anyway, Astrophil's eyes search the blinking lights of the cabin. The words are loud and echo throughout. T-minus 30 minutes. And this is information that I had pulled from a video. It was a launch video, I think it was, that the countdown begins 30 minutes prior to launch. And I was trying to figure all of that out, but anyway. And you gather pieces of information here and there. It's not half bad. Astrophil shifts in her seat, her long black hair shimmering in the light of an overhead screen. Screen was once a monitor, but then I was like, why the heck would she need a monitor for a simple countdown? Anyway, so ticking down each millisecond until launch. So, let's see, light went overhead countdown screen. Ticking down each millisecond until launch. So I don't know, I figured something analog, like analog and digital at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, so it's a slow classical music, seems to be calming her nerves. I like Grieg. I think it was what I was thinking a few days ago. Classical. You know, it's like morning song. It was cracking me up. But anyway, Astrophil's sole purpose would be to deliver reports of botanical analysis and oxygen production statistics to the lead executive of the program, Todd Chamberlain. It's not Todd Chamberlain. That is Mr. Myers. Yeah, for consideration. No, wait. He's not the lead executive then. It's not. Wait, overhead. Countdown screen. Okay, it is Todd Chamberlain, but he's not the lead executive. He's like the supervising executive. No, what do you call him, like an executive, the secondary program executive, secondary executive of the program was Todd Chamberlain, right, for consideration transfer. I don't know, I might change that too. But anyway, I don't really know the sort of hierarchy or ranking system for that. But anyway, a young slender woman at 25 years of age peeks beyond a gap separating the pilot's chambers from the passenger's cabin. She clears her throat, excuse me, and then, or excuse me, like, trying to come by. I don't know if you've ever been on a flight or something. I mean, most people have, but a flight or, a bus ride or something of the sort. Let's see, it's like, excuse me, this is Max. Max is sort of fit, 25, female, but sort of almost trans. I wouldn't say she is. Anyway, you can't really tell her much. Anyway, so started Astrophile response, sure. Can't really tell. She would pass, but she doesn't. So, hello, my name is Maxine, actually. And then Astrophile, and just call me Aster. And it's like a gentle handshake is shared. No. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Cracks me up. She stuffs her neoprene bag into a compartment above the seat beyond Astrophile. Her suit is tight and form-fitting, not budging, as she softly sits onto the seat. Like a side sit. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of neat, too. She pulls the straps over her shoulders and across her abdomen. So that's Max. Astrophile, I'm with technology, and I was thinking about this. It was engineering, mechanics, technology. What does she, what does she do? And I think I decided on technology after I changed monitor to screen, which was touch screen. So I was like, okay, wait a sec. I don't know enough about technology, and if I was to, sort of make a comparison, it would be that, Max is not with engineering, she's with technology. And then, if she ever has a conversation with Maxine, that, Maxine would tell her some about the technology upon eternity. So I haven't thought that into existence yet, but whatever. So I can't wait to get it to eternity. And then she's like, see, right here, it is not a Stella. It is Astrophile. I'm like, did I really change that? I thought I changed all of those. Anyway, so, yeah, straps across her suit, botanical analysis. It's the first time going out. She's like, first time up. Yep. Yeah, first time up. It was, yeah. That was changed to yes. Nervous. A little, 2 minutes 5. And then it's like, there's a little additional dialogue here and some additional descriptions and stuff. But loud spout like hiss interrupts as Astrophile's grip tightens on the straps. A grin forms at Max's lips. Max has already experienced this. She knows what it's like. I don't know. I don't think many of us know. But I think it's like if you've ever been to an amusement park where you're plastered to the side of a ride that spins, that's what it's like, times probably many more than that. So anyway, 20 times they can, become unconscious like that, which is really scary. But anyway, all compartments will be sealed at this time. Prepare for launch at T-minus 4 minutes. The voice booms. They trained for that prior to. Anyway, they were studying that. I think it was aeronautics and NASA. Aeronautics, that's NASA. But anyway, it was aeronautics. Astro Aero, what the heck? Gotta figure that out. Aeronautics, it's Aero. G-force, I think it was. Speed at which, I don't know, effects of different speeds, I should say. Seal at this time. Prepare for launch in T-minus 4 minutes. The voice booms. Thud seals the opening of the pilot's chambers. The hiss steadily increases in intensity. The fluorescent lights about the cabin dim. And a pink glow silhouettes the passengers' compartments. 2 passengers. I was like, pink. It was red. I remember that. It was red. And it changed to pink. like pink, like the emergency, emergency. That's what I thought of when it was red, and then I changed it to pink, and I was like, "What the heck happened?" Anyway, two passengers. Astrophil's heartbeat quickens. A low rumble resonates from beneath, and lights and music cut out. Max raises her voice. "Woo, you're gonna love this, right?" And then Astrophil's pulse pounded. She's like, "Oh crap." T-minus 1 minute. I'm like, 1 minute. And then there's additions here too, and a little bit, like 30 minutes. Like, you can cut that into like one page, 30 minutes, and it's like super fast. It's like, this is kind of what happens within that amount of time. It happens so quickly. T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. The low roar becomes thunderous. 3, we're go for launch. We are go for launch is 2, or wait, 4. We go 4. We are go for launch. We're go for launch. That's like 2 seconds right there. And then launch is 1. Or no, do you go 1, 2, 3? 3, actually. Do they even say launch? We'll go for launch. Or we just see it. Like, I don't know, I haven't watched one of those videos in a while. That might be 1980s right there. Or 90s, early 90s maybe. Anyway, she opens her eyes. Opening her eyes, Astrophil notices a heaviness about her chest and her shoulders. And then laboriously, Max screams, "Woo!" Right. So, I gotta take some of that college into consideration. He's like, adjectives, your adjectives, I think it was. No, it was prior to the actual. So you actually get that, idea, I guess. Like, that is so before, though. Laboriously, Max screams. It could go like... Anyway, so, as the city ascends the atmosphere, the pressure surrounding and inside the cabin causes the whole causes the whole protecting them to creak and groan. Astrophil, I don't really know about creak. It reminds me of wood. I should say tink. What if we go tink and groan? That would make sense, I think. Creak would be more like wood. Astrophil closes her eyes and leans into the seat. She thinks. The heaviness is an exaggeration of the density of deep diving. Addition. A loud click sounds and thunderous hiss of burning fuel subsides. I think that click is the excess metal from holding fuel, and the click and then it falls away. So yeah, those two do, but then the rumble, I think, went 2 at some point. So there's 3. There's a main thrust and 2. Anyway, so that's how it used to be. I don't know. I haven't looked into that anymore either. Downward force very slowly releases its grip on her throat and sends her balancing upward and downward against the strap. She fumbles to gain control of herself in a lack of gravity. So it'd be microgravity, but pressing against the harness straps securing her, she pulls herself down into the seat, looking at Max with a grin. She's like, "What the hell?" Our ascent was successful, and that's over intercom. Early days against her personal atrium. See, right here, it goes back into, it's got to be a freaking additional